The girl is often bullied by people in her village, only because she has no father, and her mother is very meek. At school, even her teachers look down on her. A doctor who appears kind also speaks cruel words to the young girl.
Your mother's a slut, and you're a bastard.
The mayor's son often encourages other children to isolate her. On an ordinary school day, the mayor's son bullies Tina again. Tina shouts for help toward the teacher's dormitory, but the female teacher pretends not to see or hear. She does not step in to stop the boy. Instead, she closes the curtain. Tina is dragged to a secluded area of the school. After verbally humiliating her, the boy tries to strike her in the stomach again, this time without other boys holding her down. Tina instinctively dodges to the side. The mayor's son crashes into a hard wooden object. He collapses to the ground and does not get up. Tina is instantly terrified. Her mind goes completely blank. She loses all memory of what happened next. This entire scene is witnessed by a boy with an intellectual disability from afar. The next day, the mayor finds his son on the school grounds. The female teacher places all the blame on Tina. From that moment on, Tina is driven out of the town. 20 years later, Tina returns to her hometown. She carries the label of a murderer. She wants to uncover the truth of what happened in her childhood. She wants to clear her own name. Now, she has become an excellent dressmaker. But Tina's mother reacts coldly to her long-lost daughter. She wants Tina to leave the town. Tina ignores her mother's wishes. She forcefully washes her mother's body. She cleans the filthy and chaotic house. Tina's return draws attention once again. A family long forgotten by the villagers is noticed again. A ball rolls out of the field. It is stopped by an elegant red high heel. A woman in haute couture appears in the rural town. She looks completely out of place in the gray surroundings. Her presence draws everyone's attention. The women look at her with disdain.
Ugh, trollop!
The men, however, are instantly captivated.
Heard she was back. Had no idea she was so beautiful.
A local girl leaves in shame and anger. She hides in a small grove to sulk. Unexpectedly, Tilly follows her. The girl is visibly on guard. Tilly hands her a business card instead. She says a single dress can change her destiny.
A dress can't change anything.
Tilly lets her hair down. She prepares to give a demonstration. She deliberately touches up her makeup in the blue team's zone. The blue team player's eyes drift toward Tilly. Then she reveals her shoulders. Every move she makes pulls the crowd's focus. As she removes her gloves, Tilly completely disrupts the blue team's concentration. The weaker red team wins the match in the end. This is the power of a dress. The town girl is tempted. That night, she goes to Tilly's house. She asks Tilly to design a dress for her. She wants to wear it to the town's upcoming celebration. Tilly agrees. On the night of the dance, the girl's appearance shocks everyone. She walks through admiring gazes toward the rich boy she has a crush on. As expected, he is enchanted by her. Her transformation spreads Tilly's name through the town. The women who once looked down on Tilly now come to her door. They all ask her to make dresses for them. From that day on, the rural town fills with women in couture gowns. Tilly's business grows better and better, but her mother is not happy about it.
You never came back for me. You came back for them. Well, go on making their dresses. Make them think they're classy. They'll still hate you.
The man dragged the woman against the wall and covered her mouth.
What did he say?
Her memory snapped back to childhood, to the days when she was bullied by boys.
Stand really, really still, Dunny Bum, or I'll come round to your house tonight and kill your mother, the slut. And when she's dead, I'll get you.
With each question Teddy asked, Tilly's memories slowly resurfaced. Just because Tilly had no father, the other children targeted her. They bullied her by charging at her like bulls. That time, no one stepped in to stop it. When the mayor's son rushed toward her, Tilly instinctively dodged. That was the truth of what happened.
I moved.
You moved.
I moved.
It was not Tilly who hurt him. It was his own brutality that destroyed him. On the night the truth became clear, the stigma placed on Tilly finally faded. She no longer needed to suppress her love for Teddy. Still, a trace of doubt lingered in her heart. She was not sure whether her bad luck would disappear after leaving the town. To put her mind at ease, Teddy decided to prove it using a local tradition. In this town, men jump into barns full of rats to prove their courage. He pushed Tilly to admit that she was not cursed. When she could not bring herself to say it, Teddy jumped without hesitation. His resolve deeply moved Tilly. At last, she found the courage to shout her plea to the heavens.
I am no longer cursed. I am no longer cursed. There is no curse. Teddy. Teddy?
But no response ever came from the barn.
Help me, somebody!
No one told them that the grain inside had been changed to sorghum that day. It was loose and collapsing, like a swamp. His mother did not blame Tilly. She asked her to help clean Teddy's body. As Tilly held her lover's cold, lifeless hand, the warmth that had just risen in her heart faded away with him. Inside a rundown workshop, the women gather together, laughing and joking. The air is filled with the smell of cheap perfume. Suddenly, a bell rings. The women immediately get back to work. They skillfully sew fabric into car seat covers. The workshop falls completely silent. Only the sewing machines hum. In 1970s Britain, Ford is one of the most important car companies. But in this male-dominated industry, men hold all the power. The women do the most tedious and exhausting work, yet their pay is not even half of what men earn. At this moment, the workshop manager suddenly arrives. He brings devastating news. Ford is reclassifying its employees. The women are labeled as unskilled workers. This means their wages will drop even further. The women are completely enraged. For years, men have enjoyed comfortable office spaces. The women are forced to stay in hot, damp workshops. They are often drenched in sweat. Worse still, when it rains, the roof leaks. The women must keep working in the rain. Their hard labor is never rewarded fairly. On top of that, the company keeps exploiting them. It looks for every possible way to cut their wages. This time, they can no longer endure it. They decide to stand together and will protest the company's unequal treatment. They choose one woman to represent them. She will negotiate with management the next morning. Her name is Wanda. She is seen by everyone as a devoted wife. Every morning, she gets up before dawn to make breakfast for the family. After that, she wakes her husband and sends the children to school. Once the children are gone, Wanda rushes to the factory. She begins another long day of hard work. The next day, Wanda puts on her most formal dress. She goes to the company headquarters. But once the meeting begins, she realizes the truth. The company does not care about the women's demands. They only want to hear what the male workers have to say.
Strike is about one thing, and one thing only. Fairness. Equal pay or nothing. Yes. All those in favour? Everybody, out!
The woman's frail body and trembling voice carried immense strength. More than 100 of them were crammed into a single workshop. The damp and suffocating heat forced them to remove their coats to work. Even so, their wages were cut. They were even labeled as unskilled workers. The female workers could no longer endure it. They rose up in protest. Union leaders and top executives were all stunned. The situation grew more complicated. Dawson, the workshop manager, was summoned by the union, but he firmly stood on the women's side.
Progress can be measured by the social position of the female sex. Equal pay across the board. You telling me that ain't worth fighting for? Good fucking evening.
Trucks that delivered seat frames returned from the factory empty. Their strike was determined to continue to the end. They did not limit themselves to the factory. They went into the streets to recruit any woman who might support them. They even hitchhiked to the Ford plant in Liverpool. They rallied female workers doing the same jobs. Rita's story made the news. She sparked a wave of women's strikes. A group of protesting women gathered outside Parliament. The impact of the strike kept growing. The stock of car seats was completely used up. Workers across the entire production line stopped working. A strike from a small department caused tens of millions in losses. Until an agreement was reached, all workers were sent home without work. Ford's upper management demanded an immediate resolution. Though the strike seemed to be progressing smoothly, tension ran beneath the surface. Headquarters tried to break the movement by recruiting individuals directly. One striking woman was bought off to model for a new Ford car. In return, she had to return to work. If anyone went back to work, it could shake the resolve of the others. At her father's memorial service, she was asked to list things her father loved to do, but the only images flashing through her mind were scenes of him abusing her mother. In the end, Lily said nothing. She even walked out of the memorial service. The shadow left by her father's violence would likely haunt her for the rest of her life. Lily went up to the rooftop to get some air. A man suddenly kicked a chair in frustration. The scene startled Lily. She sat there in silence, pretending she didn't exist. But Ryle still noticed her.